I had teens coming from out of state, parents traveling for hours. I had a waiting list. I couldn't even keep up with the waiting list that was, you know, the troubled teens that wanted to come and see me. And
it's great because when you do that, when you've been there and they're almost wanting to shock you, like I'm beyond your reach, you're thinking...
And you can't be shocked.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, you know there's a redemption. You know that inside
That's
that
right.
person, regardless of what the outside is saying and what they're trying to say with the outside, that person, Tracy, existed on the inside.
Yes. There's nothing more gratifying than seeing a woman or a teenager who's struggling or in darkness. I've had so many teens get involved in witchcraft and come and share their pain, and we work through issues, and then they accept Jesus Christ as their Savior, just as I did. I see their clothing change as mine did. I see the light and the softness come, and it's almost like I get to see a glimpse of what God did in me through these clients. It's really an awesome, awesome thing.
How has becoming a mother also been part of the restoration for you?
Well, I heard one afternoon, I was sitting on a bench, and I heard the Lord say, "It's time." I knew exactly what that meant. We had been praying about having a child, and I was so happy in my career that I was willing to do whatever God wanted. 8 weeks later, I was pregnant. It was definitely time, wasn't it? And when she was born, I planned on going back to my practice, but she's almost 2, and I have not returned. Letting go of all the things I worked so hard to get was one of the most difficult things, but one of the most wonderful things I have ever done.
And there are seasons, you know, definitely motherhood is something you need to focus on your child, and God allows us to have seasons when we can still have opportunities. And you're able to sort of still minister from home, aren't you?
It's amazing. She was about a couple months old, and I knew I wanted an outlet. You know, when you have a testimony, when God's done something in your life, I just cried out, "Lord, please give me an avenue to minister." So I happened to have lunch with a fellow mom. I didn't know it, but her husband is known as the internet genius, Ben Cope. And so he developed my website. 2 weeks later, tracyhurst.com was born. And my goal was just to reach 200 women. I thought if just 200 women can log on, and I published weekly devotionals. Well, 13,000 women later. And it's growing every single day. That's what's the goodness of God. I can play in the backyard with my daughter, sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars we did yesterday, but then I can go in and blog and still minister and still share what God has done. I just want to do God's will for my life.
What would you say to that person who is maybe in the situation that you were, who feels like there is no out, there's no way for me to escape the lifestyle that I'm in, and there's no way to escape the pain I'm feeling?
I would say run to Jesus. I know trusting Him was one of the hugest hurdles I had to cross, but the prayer I prayed, I would encourage them to say the exact same thing. God, I've tried everything else but you. And I today am coming to you. If you can take my life, if you can bring hope, and you can do something through me, then I give you my life. I said a simple prayer just like that, and my life began to change. I would encourage them to go to a Christian counselor, you know, work through the abuse issues, work through the pain, and embrace the strength of the Lord. And my greatest goal is for women to fulfill their destiny. So whoever is listening today, maybe they've been knocked down, but with Christ we always get back up.
We do.
Well, and your life and your testimony is an encouragement to others that God has a hope and a plan and a future for them, and He doesn't intend for us to live in that hopeless place and in that painful place, but that He does want to come in and redeem our lives. Tracy, thank you so much for sharing your story and your encouragement with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know what? When we come back, behold, the tax man cometh. See you then.